Golf again this week, Carter. Said good work.
Yeah, Glanville down my way. So it was good to have the boys down that way and have a bit of fun and just enjoy themselves. So it's not every day we can get together and do something fun at the moment. So it was a great experience to get all the boys and have a bit of fun and put some money in the kitty.
Did it ease the tension? I mean, obviously yesterday was probably your best performance, one of your best performances for the year. Was it a contributing factor, or did you just play well on the day?
To be honest, by the time we got to the game, I'd forgotten that we played golf. So you just mentioned it then. So
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good fun, but it sort of relaxed the boys. Obviously, we didn't put a great performance in last week, so and then you see that we turned it around pretty quickly this week. That we put in a better performance, but yeah, I'm not sure whether golf contributed to that. Maybe we should play again. So maybe we should play 18, and maybe we'll play 4 quarters. We'll see how we go.
Firstly, reasonable day on Tomahawk. Obviously, it was tough. Best key balls going around, but good day for you.
Yeah, obviously, like having Tails go out and I think he's leading the comp, so big task to go up against the big boy Tomahawk. But I played on a couple of times before, and I knew what he brings. And I'd watched a bit of vision from his games against Port and St Kilda the last couple of weeks, and so I was in two minds of how to play him, because obviously he played Port sort of played him a bit in front, and they got pushed under the ball a little bit, and then as soon as you go to the back shoulder, then when Geelong get their ball movement going and they got guys like Duncan and Guthrie and that coming through, they just lower their eyes and hit him up on the lead. So he's sort of really tough to play, because they go through him all day, and every time they go in 50, and you sort of feel like you're on a bit of an island down there. But yeah, it was a reasonable day, but still ended up having 3 kicked on me. So but then again, I had Butsy there come in for his first game that helped me out a lot, and Jake Kelly. And then, as you said before, the pressure on the footy, I think it was probably our best day with the contest. Matty Crouch having 14 tackles, that really helps. When there's pressure on the footy, it helps us defenders set up and get our positioning right. And then when there's no pressure on the footy, it doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes it's just too good. You just got to tip your hat and say, well, not much you can do. So it was good that the boys in the midfield, played their role this week and got the pressure on the footy and got in our forward half early so that we could press the ground and set up.
You had a really good game. What your best of the year? Are you out at the end of this year?
Yeah.
Do you sort of feel like you're playing for your footy life at the moment?
Personally, I still think I've got a couple of good years left in me. I've had a couple of injuries over the last couple of years, which have sort of hindered my run at it and that sort of thing. So just starting to get back. I had surgery on my ankle at the start of the year, so the COVID break sort of helped me get back and get some fitness before we got into the season. So personally, I think I still got a lot to give the footy club to the young guys and help those guys out, bringing Butsy and Fisher and those sort of guys through. But in the end, we'll sit down with the club at the end of the year and we'll see what they want to do, and we'll go from there. That's not really all I can do is go out there and play my best footy, and then put my best foot forward, and then hopefully something comes from that.
Well, you certainly there wasn't any harm yesterday. It's so important to play well each time, then, isn't it? So you must be happy that you put your best foot forward yesterday.
Yeah, well, definitely. It was good to get out there and take some marks and get your hands on the footy. So I love playing footy. I really enjoy it. So every time I get to run out for the Crows is a special experience and something I treasure.
And Daniel Talia, speaking of, hopefully back next week in 8 days or so.
Yeah, I just seen him. He was inside, doing all the right things. He was doing ice bars and having the ice on and stuff like that. He's doing everything to get himself right. So we've got 9 days or 8 days probably now. I think it is. So I'm sure we'll give him every chance, and that longer break gives him every opportunity to get up.
So what does the week look like for you, mate? Nixie said there might be a bit more sort of full contact training, a couple of sessions, given there's no game.
Yeah, well, if that's what he said, then I'm sure.
What are you expecting those sessions then to train? I mean, defence was his priority when he got here. What are you expecting in terms of a week to sort of set up ahead of Auckland?
Yeah, well, we sort of last week our main session was really high with our contested sort of defensive side of the game, and I think that shone through on the weekend, and that held us in good stead and held us in the game for a longer time, 3 quarters on the weekend. So I don't see why we'd go away from that again this week. We'd probably train that and go even harder this week, being a longer break. So more time to get together and focus on the things that we want to do. And obviously we've got a younger group, so the more time we can get out there on the training track and instill the game plan and the things that we want them to learn and to do and to take out on to game day, the more time we can do that on the track is going to benefit us. So I don't see why we'd go away from that contested stuff that helped us on the weekend.
How have you found lack of training time in terms of implementing a game plan and understanding where you need to be, and the young guys as well, lack of training time?
I think me personally, I think the older guys, they can sort of pick it up a little bit because they've been around and they've seen different game plans over the years and that sort of thing. But it is hard, especially to work it in with the young guys, because you just don't have the time. There's not the time together as a group or match play and that sort of thing. So it's hard. It's been difficult, but everyone's in the same boat, and we've just got to do the best we can.
Would you, when you're talking about sort of next year, what it looks like, to look ahead, do you think any players would have any reservations about moving back to Victoria if they're from there, or getting a trade to a Victorian club, given just the current climate at the moment? It seems like the worst place to be.
Yeah, I'm Victorian, and all my family are back there, so my thoughts are with everyone back in Victoria. But who knows what it's going to be like in 6 months' time. So that Victoria were coming out of their regulations and that, and then now they've gone back into it, and who knows that it's not going to be anywhere else in Australia. So I don't think you can take that into account, because no, I don't think so, because you just don't know. Who knows that it's not going to be in South Australia and in 6 months' time. Hopefully it doesn't, but hopefully it gets a lot better in Victoria. But if it is like it is now, then who knows what the AFL is going to do next year if we go into hubs and that sort of thing. So you probably won't even be in Victoria anyway playing the footy. So you might be on the Gold Coast. So it might be 12 teams in Queensland, and I don't think you can take that into account.
Perhaps chance maybe as well next week.
Yeah, so they're out there training now, and they're doing all the right things, like I said, that Tales is doing. So 9-day break gives everyone a pretty good opportunity. So I think she's been a couple of weeks, I think. So and he was only minor, so he should definitely really go. Shana, I haven't spoken to Shana today, but I copped a knock, and I think they were going to send him for scans potentially. But I haven't spoken to him this morning, so we'll just see how the week goes and how he pulls up, and probably in a couple of days we'll probably get more info on that.
And just on a 9-day break, must be nice to have a couple of days extra for once, rather than game every few days.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I guess the best training is playing, but the more you can instruct and that sort of thing on the training track is good. So the training, the sessions we're going to get out there are valuable, and we've only got a few games to go. So the more we can get into the guys before we go away from here, it'll benefit us going forward to next year and the year after.
Nick's a pretty positive game, obviously leading with clearances at one point at half time, I think, and obviously you get the 4 points. So it was pretty positive after the game.
Yeah, obviously we're not happy with losing. We're shattered. We want to win every week that we go out there. But I think the positive thing is that we're showing signs that there is a game plan and structure there in place, that when we do play it, that we can match it with teams like Geelong and that. And we just weren't able to do it for long enough. And their experience rose to the top and ran over us in the last quarter. But I think that it's a positive sign that 3 quarters we can match it with one of the best teams in the competition when we actually play the way we want to play. So that was a positive aspect that came out of the game.